Do I like monetization? Fuck no. Limit monetization as much as possible, but like there's got to be some level of sustain here. If people want to spend a lot of money on skins, great. Nothing affects the actual gameplay that you're having. It's kind of a different pay model in a way that it restricts the amount of games that you can play on ladder per day if you're free to play. That's the big limitation. Unless you're really good, and then you do go infinite just like you go infinite in Arena. Bofur, I'm stuck in the range of 6,500 to 7,100. I just don't know where to correct my plays and where I'm messing up. Focus on the first 6 turns of the game. That would be my advice. I'm basically just saying Jeef's advice. Basically, an exact quote from Jeef was, if you play the first set of turns right in this game, you'll climb the top 10 in A, because nobody plays the game competitively anymore. Almost an exact quote. It was a good chuckle moment. But realistically, like, the thing that people fuck up all the time, especially in like the range of where you're, sub 10K range, is that you don't leave yourself open to play a variety of things. Focus on buying the better minions, setting yourself up so you have a decent trinket turn, not leveling too aggressively, not leveling, or making sure you're leveling aggressively enough. It's an arbitrary thing to say, but focus on that portion of the game, not the late game. Late game itself kind of plays itself at the moment. It's a ghost. How do you play the first 7 turns right? Because I suck. Yeah, I realize it's pretty arbitrary or pretty nebulous in the way of saying that. Absolutely, fully understand. Watching Jeef play something else, man. See, I love Jeef. He's a great dude. Also, Rats, thank you so much for the 27 months. And Singer Boy for the 13 months. And all the peoples. I love Jeef. But I think he's hit the nail on the head in terms of the conversation. And that's that Hearthstone Battlegrounds competitiveness is dead. It is. Since Lobby Legends died, like, the entire ladder died. If you look at, like, if you go back in time and you look at the people that were, like, consistently top for the first 3 years this game was out, and then you look at the ladder nowadays, like, some of them still play, and we just play a lot more casually. And when you look at people that are, like, taking the game seriously, like Beater, for example, or Jeef, they just play on a whole different level because they're doing everything to min-max, where everybody else is just playing the game to go get funny compositions. And when you're the only ones left tryharding, well, your success rate's going to be pretty high. Love the dude. But he's identified as much as everybody else has, which is NA server is dead. There's nobody playing the game competitively anymore. So when are you switching to the Bazaar? Maybe 2 hours or so? I'm thinking for the short term, I'm going to do some level of Bazaar, some level of Hearthstone. Hearthstone's patch should be coming out in 2 or 3 weeks. And then we'll probably be like almost exclusively Hearthstone. And then Bazaar's open beta will release where everybody has access to the game instead of just the pre-order people. And that goes live sometime in December. And we'll probably spend a lot of time on that in that time period. Or whatever. Like right now, Bazaar interests me more than Hearthstone does. I'm going to spend some time streaming it, I am in the very, very early days of learning that game. So if you're the type that you're like me, you see that game and it looks daunting. You're like, wow, that's a lot of stuff on screen that I don't understand. Now's the time to look at it. Because like a lot of people are dealing with that same situation. Hey, Bofur, play the first 6 turns of my game. Okay, thanks. I got you, dude. If you see the good minions, you buy them. And if you see minions that aren't good, you don't buy them. To quote a very famous man in the Hearthstone environment, I think his name's like Peef or something. Don't buy trash. Is Bazaar going to be on Steam? No, not to my knowledge. Bazaar has its own launcher. Kind of like Blizzard has Battle.net for a launcher. To my knowledge, there's no plan to move it to Steam. It does have a Mac client. It does have a PC client at the moment. Not entirely sure what the roadmap is for development, though. Or deployment on different platforms. I'm assuming it's just planned to be on its own thing. PC only. Or Mac and PC only. Okay, but what if I see good minions, but there might be better ones if I roll? On average, are they better? And is it worth the 1 gold cost to you? Asking the hard-hitting questions here. Man, if this was like old Agam meta, I think you hedge toward this. Otherwise, I think we just say health is a resource here. The children yearn for the Bazaar. So I'm going to be the least knowledgeable person in that stream. Okay, maybe not least, but like, you know, I know how to play the game. I have a general idea of like how to succeed on Vanessa. I've done, I don't know, 15 total runs in quick play versus and ranked, about half in each. Gotten together maybe 20 runs. Maybe 10 run wins. So like a pretty decent win rate. I haven't even unlocked the second or third hero yet. You know, like I'm in the early days of learning the game. But I feel confident on Vanessa, and I'll unlock the other two gradually as, you know, spend some time on it. People have been going for 2.5 weeks already. I started last Thursday. You planning to play PoE 2? Nope. I think I'm completely done with the Diablo and Path of Exile life. The last 2 times I've tried to play any games like that, I've realized I hate them. And I'm just done. I'm out. Bot portrait, use it to potentially level next turn. Ticketus sticker, use it to potentially level next turn. Azeroth globe, and it does nothing for 2 turns. Or Holy Mallet on a board that I have no reason to play Holy Mallet. Thanks, Blizzard. Match. Anyway. Bazaaring sounds like a fantastic way to fall asleep, not gonna lie. Just like Bofur Battlegrounds. We'll see how it goes. Like, I've never streamed another game other than Hearthstone. Like, not really streamed it. So I fully expect it will collapse in terms of like normal people that are around. It'll be different people that want to tune in for that content, and that'll take a while to build and grow. You know, like the normal stuff, growing on Twitch. But some people carry over. They're like, I'll sleep to anything, you know? Not a big deal. I'm not planning on giving up Hearthstone by any means. I just have interests that lie in that world for now. I've heard this card's okay. You ever go Atrocity instead? No. No, you don't. Hopefully you look forward to growing a channel again. Well, I mean, right now I'm kind of working and streaming. It's like my lifestyle is split between the two. And it gives me the opportunity to do that. So I'm not just like, if it was 6 months ago and I had no recourse for like, if you lose viewership, you don't eat. That's a bigger deal than like if you have a little bit of stability in your life. Do I want to start from scratch? No. Do I think I'm going to? No. I think there's going to be some level of carryover. But also like, I'm not panicking on it, you know? Not a picnic moment. Yeah, I'd prefer if everything stayed exactly the same. That'd be cool. I like y'all homies. It's fun to stream around this. Dope, actually. I think Kripp has fully given up on BGs. I think he'll be back for the new patch. Just like for a little bit. Because, I mean, being blunt here, I don't think I think Bazaar feels like a beta. It feels genuinely like a beta. So like there's a certain amount of iterations you're going to do in it before you're going to be tired of it because it's not a fully fledged game yet. But Kripp might go a little bit more variety than coming back to Battlegrounds as well, you know? Do something else that, like he's done with Diablo in the past and whatnot. And Path of Exile and shit. BGs is dying, guys. Like, genuinely. Real talk. You know how sarcastic I am on this with, like, last week's Microsoft Direct and all that shit too. But like BG's is dying. From the time period I started streaming to current day, the viewership in the Hearthstone category on Twitch and average viewership on YouTube videos has dropped by about 70%. Largely in the time period of about a year and a half from back till now. Could it recover? Absolutely. But like, let's be honest here with the resources that Blizzard is advocating for or allocating to it and whatnot. It's not coming back. It's every game goes through these phases, right? Bofur, you used to be at 1,000 viewers. You're at 400-ish now. I mean, it's also an hour into the stream. It's just kind of the way that the game works or the world works. I also took a month off streaming last month, you know, like also my average in the last 2 weeks has been about 600 overall. And my average historically has been about 700 or 800. So like, it's not that big of a difference for what it's worth. You're kind of taking a small snapshot in time at a time period that is quite literally the lowest amount of the stream, right? When you're starting up, right? You also pop to like 2,000 sometimes too. It happens. Taking a snapshot at the beginning of the day is always going to be really low. I wouldn't panic on that front. "200 people don't matter, bro." I think most people matter. Why are we rude to people? Interesting. You ever take like a golden fungus? Don't forget how crazy it is though, still to have 200 people. Yeah, I'm not discounting it. I think it's just kind of an interesting, we're in an interesting place. Interesting period. What if Ice Snarl scales at a really cool rate? Yeah, I don't really see that happening, but it doesn't feel like that's very competitive. I'm just going to take my tempo. I'm going to roll my board. And I'm going to see what happens here. I don't think we freeze for it, but it's good. Totally agree with you. I still watch Battlegrounds only on your stream. Other than that, Bazaar looks pretty interesting. Yeah, I'm not fully giving up on Hearthstone. I fully plan to play like full time on it once the patch releases and all that kind of stuff. I still think it'll be a ton of fun. I think the game goes through really, really, really heavy ebbs and flows at the moment. That the content droughts are really, really bad. And the new stuff is a lot of fun for a short period of time. Longevity just isn't there. Okie dokie then. Panic. Do we have Ellie's? We do have Ellie's. Go double tour group. Go double tour group. Interesting. Yuck. It's so not going to open up board space. How do I get a space to allow Atrocity to reborn? Blizzard mishandles all their games and communities. You'll never make everybody happy. I think in general, Blizzard as a designer of video games does decently well from my perspective. In terms of like the internal workings of the company, it leaves a lot to be desired, but we're not really talking about that at the moment. But I don't think they've done exceptionally bad here. with Hearthstone. I think they did exceptionally bad on the competitive scene of Hearthstone. The promotion was so ridiculously low. The production value for the streams was so ridiculously low. Like it was just garbage tier. That one I do think they fucked up pretty hard. When do you ever drop a dragon? Might drop Nala. Would be an option too. Just so many stats having a cycle spot with the amalgam. Warpwing! If only we had a completely different board state. If only there were like 13 turns left in this game. Bofur, what's the song? Exclamation point Spotify. Always shows what song's currently playing if you have a Spotify account. Yes, I realize that I am not putting a Divine Shield in the first or last position with my trinket. I fully get it. But at this point, I care about this thing more, and I can only open a board space this way, and I want to play around cleave with the board state. A shield on a 20/20 does very, very little at this point in the game. And having to put it first position feels real bad. Could be worse. Could be worse. Nice. Actually scamming. Bofur, what's bizarre? I've seen other players or others play it, but I don't think it's on Steam. No, it is a closed beta card game developed by Tempo Storm, Raynad, if you remember him from early days of Hearthstone. Those homies. That just released 2 weeks ago. It'll be an open beta next month. You can pre-order the game today and get access to the closed beta, or you can wait and it'll be free to play when it comes out. It is an asynchronous auto battler. Has a lot of Hearthstone-esque elements to it. Plays a lot like Hearthstone Arena, where you're drafting board states. Raynad, didn't he invent Zoo? Yeah, that guy. The Zoo inventor. True. I remember them memes. Did he invent that archetype? Free thing. Ugh. Well, I guess that's it then. So be it. Suppose I could evolve this to be fair. I don't need this to be on the board for that. Which means you get Divine Shield, you get Divine Shield, and I just pick up a gold. I should take the reroll, to be fair. Actually, no, I shouldn't. 6 stars better just because of the stats from the tour group. Okie dokie then. Sorry, I had to focus there for a second. Asynchronous Auto Battler from Tempo Storm has just gone into closed beta. Plays a lot like Hearthstone Arena. It's a lot of fun. It's a really, 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 really cool game at its base. It is, all warnings, all full disclosure here. It is a game that feels like it's in beta still. There's definitely some work to be done. But it's a good game. That's not Recycling Wraith. Wait, did he have infinite? Oh yeah, he was infinite. Wait, how is he so small if he's actually infinite? He has a permanent loop there. Golden Brand, Zeph Buddy. He must have just gotten that at the end of the last turn, because otherwise he should be thousands of stats. This motherfucker getting like full infinite. I didn't notice that at first. Wait a second, that's like Omega Infinite. Well, I max out my stats. I don't think we can afford another minion in the back. They're going to end up attacking. This thing has Wind Fury though, so that's really cool. If we can get it to die. So you can make an argument there that if this is going to be the is going to potentially be a death on the board. Problem is one of these things has to die before it. It's probably just safer to have a Bramble Witch. Every tiebreaker known to man. Hey, Bofur, did Battlegrounds ever leave beta? Didn't it take like a year and a half before they officially called it not beta? Yes. The answer is yes, it did leave beta. But some days I question whether or not it actually left beta. Right, game. What was this? What were these odds of winning? Because this sure doesn't feel like this was 100%. Woof. All right, well. It's still a W. I remember him looking forward to it coming out to the plebs so I can try it. Yeah, so like the gameplay loop in the game is very similar to Arena in the sense that it's free to play the game. If you keep winning in Arena, you can get access to like infinite tickets and just keep going. And what they have is the ranked mode. It basically has an Arena queuing system for it where you have like in-game currency and use that to queue a game on the actual ladder. But you can earn tickets for the actual ladder by just playing the normal game mode, like the unranked game mode. So like a lot more free-to-play friendly in that sense. On the other hand, the fact that there is some currency hoop to jump through is very, very annoying. But the whole game is given to you base for free. Unlike Hearthstone where you're like, or especially like main game Hearthstone, that has, you buy packs to progress. There's no progression.